All right, so listen, I got this hours ago.
He has not even
dying
touched it.
to dig in this. The only thing we did was we took off some tape and we folded the box down as to not be fumbling with this too much. Yeah. However, I have yet to crack it open and actually see all the pieces. So we're going to do this together. All right?
Together?
Together.
I'm honored.
This is great, isn't it? Okay. Oh!
No way! Oh my... No!
So,
what?
But he had sent me...
Alright, third episode of Fusion Cosplay.
For the third time.
For the third time. Alright, third episode of Fusion Cosplay. Don't talk about the last tape.
No, you got it.
Tell us what you got here, Josh.
Well, what I got is the same thing I got last time. That's a funny story. We're going to be very abridged about it because this is the fucking longest video we've ever made. Yeah. So, as you remember from one of our previous episodes, I got the Dark Ranger cosplay from Aniki Cosplay.
And there'll be links to that down in the description.
I ended up selling it. The short of it was I sold it because it never made it to the United States. However...
the character itself never made it to the United States.
Correct. So along comes Hasbro. Hasbro rectified a lot of things that not only Saban, but Bandai of America screwed up. And
now America knows that character.
They do. They wrote him into the Boom Studio comics. They introduced him during the whole Shattered Grid gimmick. Yep. They put him in the Power Rangers Legacy Wars game that's available for iOS and Android, which is awesome. So it reignited my passion for the character. Not that it left. I just felt like it was kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
So I sold the suit originally. I wanted it back, and here it is. However,
again,
with the caveat of... it is a new maker. It is no longer Aniki Cosplay. The entire suit we are about to show you is from a gentleman called Kamen Nimoy.
And I'll put links down to that in the description too.
Absolutely. Now, he's one of my favorite people to deal with. I've dealt with him probably a dozen times now.
Yeah.
More or less helmets. I have gotten a few suits from him in the past. My fiance got a suit from him a couple of years ago. I want to say 2.5 years ago. Yeah. And I will tell you this before we get into this. We're going to be kind of quick. But the suit is night and day difference. The quality has definitely come a long way. His helmets have come a long way. So, without further ado,
let's get into that suit.
What you want to see? What you want to see first?
Let's look at the glove.
Okay. So, Evafoam, it's wrapped in like a very I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but it's wrapped in like a very thin shell. Yeah. All of his armor is Evafoam, wrapped in like a very thin gold, like a metallic gold. Again, we know that this isn't the right color for this character. However,
it still looks good though.
It's very dynamic, and I always looked at it like this: if the character was real and the armor was real, it would look like metal. This looks way more like metal to me. So I actually enjoy this better, even though it's not screen accurate. Mm-hmm. One thing I will bring up on the glove is that it did have a small hole in it here on the side seam. It wasn't because it was a hole. He missed a few stitches. I just sealed it up with some Gorilla Glue. Good as new.
But overall, they look like they're excellent quality.
Oh, they are. And again, this is just one of his many upgrades. So previously when I bought the suit, it was like a very thin, flimsy material. Mm-hmm. It felt like, I hate to say it, but
costume vinyl.
Yeah, but it felt like a Walmart costume. Yeah. It did. It really did. This does not feel like that anymore. It is a thick, like a marine vinyl.
It legit feels and looks like a glove.
Yeah, it does. And it's just a much better quality. I mean, it's not exactly like Hakazan, which is like the actual leather glove for Rangers, but it is, you know what, it does the trick. Before we go any further, I'd just like to say the lead time and price, which we should have done this in the beginning, right? Yeah. So with my Death Reuser suit from Aniki, it was $1,200, and I waited, I believe it was 14 or 15 months. We'd have to go back and look at the video. But it was like 14.
It was almost 16, wasn't it?
Was it? It was anyway.
I remember answering someone's comment. I remember I called you, I'm like, oh, how long did it take? Someone asked. And
so between 14 and 16 months. Now, I paid $800 for this entire set, and I waited 4 months. During the course of the 4 months, Kamen Rider responded like this. I got communications, I got updates, pictures, the whole thing. He was brilliant to work with. He always is. Even before he had all these upgrades, he was still excellent with customer service. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. Glove, happy, good deal.
The next piece we're going to look at is the chest emblem.
The chest emblem. This is all made out of wrapped Evafoam, Velcro on the back. this is what's kind of cool. Whereas Aniki does 3D molding or 3D printing, he actually cut this vinyl out by hand, did all the line work by hand. This is actually really impressive for it being handmade and not 3D printed.
It's super nice. I mean, it's so nice to look at. It's got a lot of depth because you can actually see the texture.
So the one thing I will say is Kamen Rider needs to be a little bit careful. It feels like he has, like, while he's doing some of the line work and whatnot, he has a residue on his fingers. There are some minor smudges on there. Not a big deal, but again, you know, when you are spending this much money on a suit, you're kind of particular about what you want it to look like.
It almost looks like ballpoint pen ink.
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks like a Sharpie, honestly. But, I mean, again, it's so clean, you can't really, it doesn't really make a difference. What it is, it looks that good. Another good thing about this versus Aniki is the size. When I got my other suit, you can see that in the other video, it was comically small. It looked out of place. It wasn't to scale with the rest of the suit. It bothered me. The worst part of that entire thing was he glued it to the suit. So if you try to remove it, it was going to compromise the integrity of the suit, and you have to start over. So anyway, Kamen Rider, excellent job. Good size, good depth, good detail. Love the chest emblem. Absolutely. Next, we'll cover the belt.
That's right, the belt.
This is another thing that Kamen Rider has definitely upgraded over the course of his years. So before, and you can see some videos on YouTube, there's a gentleman that covers like a red in-space suit. And it was literally just a piece of foam with Velcro on it. And that was it.
Oh, really?
That's all it was.
Was it even plasti dipped? Or?
No. It was very janky, I gotta say.
Oh, wow.
So now, Kamen Rider uses the parachute clips, just like Aniki Cosplay.
Those are some heavy-duty clips, too.
They are. The thing I love about Kamen Rider stuff, and we'll get into this a little bit with the boots and whatnot, is the rivets.
Those are nice rivets.
Well, the thing is, anybody knows this who bought from Aniki, you have to fix a lot of his stuff with glue, or their stuff, I should say. So, you know, now that they have the stuff riveted on, it just makes it more durable. It makes for a much sturdier piece. You don't have to constantly be gluing things together. Again, this is actually just a piece of foam. It really is.
Yeah, really. And
it's wrapped in vinyl.
Yeah.
So
it feels super durable.
Yeah. I mean, and for what you're going to do with it, it's not like you're...
The buckle is actually a custom buckle
Yeah, he just started doing this. This is actually... He was trying to buy a DX buckle for this, which anybody who knows, that's a Japanese buckle. The Japanese version of the buckle that's actually fully functional. Yeah. So he couldn't find one that he liked, so he ended up making... This is the first version that I'm aware that he made, and this is fully resin. It's just a casted resin buckle.
It's pretty thick resin, too. It's like... It's got some weight to it.
I would not want to be hit with it, let's put it that way. I will say the only thing I'm a little bit disenfranchised with, or disenchanted with, I should say. Man, grammar.
I'll put that movie in the background.
All right. Is the paint work on it. Again, this was his first time doing it. There's some cleanliness issues as far as line work goes. And he did miss the red button. That should be red, which isn't again a huge deal. But again, a lot of these people are attention to detail. Yeah. I am too, but I'm not that big of a. It's not that big of a deal to me. I'm not going to be that upset about it. So yeah, I mean, really good though. Much better than what he used to give. Very happy with it. Fits nice. Very adjustable, by the way. Good piece. Good job, Kamen Rider. Let's just get the wrist cuffs out of the way.
Let's do the cuffs.
I'm only going to do the one because, again, the other one just is the same thing, just doesn't have armor on it. We're going to start off with the negative first because, again, it just comes down to workmanship and the smudges that are on there, that is stuff you need to be aware of.
Yeah,
you really do need to be aware of. It's brand new. It shouldn't have marks on it unless I put them on there myself. But again, beautifully done. All nice Eva foam, very thick, wrapped in the gold vinyl or whatever that material is. I don't really quite know. Excellent job with the piping on the bottom. Again, riveted on. He has glue in the middle here, and then rivets on either side. Keeps it on nice and tight. He actually padded the inside of this.
That's really nice.
He actually had padding on the inside.
The other one was just the raw vinyl.
That's it. Well, it was leather, but it was still just a piece of leather.
Yeah.
The best thing about these is they actually fit. The best thing about this entire suit is it actually fits. I have not had to alter anything. I didn't have to add anything. I didn't have to go to a tailor and have the suit altered. Yeah. Everything actually fits to the measurements I gave him. I cannot say that for Aniki Cosplay. Not only did I spend all that time and money waiting for this stuff, but I had to spend an additional $100 to $150 getting my local tailor to actually be willing to
touch it.
Touch it. It's such a crazy thing. So, again, I didn't give him custom measurements for my wrist because that's a big deal. I'm a larger person. I'm not like a smaller guy. So, a lot of the stuff doesn't fit the same, and they make the standard size. So it tapers out just fine. It fits over my forearm. It's a very comfortable fit. Very happy with it.
It's very nice.
Again, the other one cuff is the exact same thing, just sans armor. Next, we're going to do the boot. Again, this is a huge. I mean, this is actually probably one of the biggest upgrades he made. So if you look at some of the other videos that are online, or like the one gentleman from the In Space costume, you can see that the material that Kamen Rider usually used, or used to use, I should say, is very thin. Again, it had a lot of, it would collapse when you put it on. It just wasn't very dynamic looking. This, he has completely upgraded his zipper, because those hardly ever worked, if I can remember. And the inside of this, honestly, it feels like legit like real leather. I don't know if it's leather. I don't know if it's pleather. I don't know if it's marine vinyl. But it actually has like a real feel leather to it.
Yeah,
I can't really tell.
It feels like it's legit.
But yeah, bottom line is if it's that hard to tell, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So again, the zipper is excellent. Again, it goes down to the piping around the boot with the rivets. Again, keeps it nice and in place. Good sole, nicely secured. Great stitch work, by the way. Like his stitch work really is just nice. Excellent.
Did the other one have the white stitches?
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. The only one thing I will say about this, especially if Nimoy's watching this, the only one thing is how it kind of fits in the ankle.
Okay.
This needs to have a little bit more of a scoop to where it goes closer to the ankle.
More scoop in the instep.
More scoop, because it does. It gets a little bit stiff here. It's a little uncomfortable to wear, but it's not that bad. You know what I mean? It's tolerable. It's just, it could be a little bit better if this actually just scooped in and cut into the ankle a little bit more.
Yeah.
After, add a little bit more flexibility. But all in all, again, night and day difference from Kamen Rider. Excellent job. Very, very, very happy. Just a couple more things here, because I'm going to cover all the armor, because it gets kind of repetitive. So we're just going to cover this particular piece, and we'll get pictures of the rest of it. Again, it's kind of more of the same. Eva foam, wrapped in gold. The reason I wanted to show this piece is because there is a critique I have with it, and it is just the sheer size of it. This is quite large. It's probably 10 or 15% too big, which actually makes a very big difference. When you put it on the shoulder, it should not be. Yeah, it should not be that big. It's not that big of a deal, but just in case Kamen Rider's looking at this, just for scaling purposes, you're going to want to
shrink it a bit.
Just shrink it a little bit. The rest of the armor is really good, but the red part here, the eye, that should be smaller, and the entire piece should be just a little bit smaller. Yeah. So, and that's actually, this will be the second Dino Charge costume I've ever gotten, and the shoulder piece on the original one, which was the Aqua Ranger, that was also quite large too, and I just never mentioned it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a lot larger than it should have been. So anyway, just something to keep in mind. It's still beautifully done. It's still a very good quality piece of armor. Again, we'll show you pictures of the rest of it up close, but just for argument's sake, it's the same stuff, just kind of repetitive. Yeah. So good armor. All right, we're going to cover the suit real quick. Again,
the actual costume.
The actual suit. Now, again, this is kind of crazy, because this is, again, a huge upgrade. Now, he's done a lot of work. This is actually one of the most dramatic, though, is the amount or the quality of material that he used. Yeah. Again, his suits were a lot cheaper, his lead times a lot shorter, but, his materials were also a lot cheaper as well, feeling. So whereas Aniki would use a really thick gauge 4-way stretch spandex, Kamen Rider used a very thin spandex, so it was difficult, especially for guys to wear.
You got a draft.
You have a problem there, man.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
Too much things are showing. You know what I mean?
That's true too.
So this is a night and day difference. I gotta say, again, his zippers completely upgraded, way smoother, way more like industrial strength. Yeah. The spandex itself way thicker. His sublimation is way cleaner than Aniki's as far as like that pattern design goes.
Yeah, there's no fade out when you stretch it.
Correct. It doesn't have to stretch because it actually fits right. That's the biggest thing.
That's true.
So it actually has a really good fit to it. His design's perfect. You can see where the badge goes up in this area. The only alteration I made to this was adding a little piece of Velcro down here by the waist so the belt
doesn't droop.
Correct. Yeah. And then I added a little piece of Velcro on the one sleeve to keep the shoulder piece of armor on, because the shoulder, again, although it straps around the bicep, it being on spandex kind of moves up and down. Yeah. The Velcro holds it up on your shoulder like it should. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So, But it's beautifully done. The cool thing is he actually added the hero collar on here too,
which is thick
it's
and fairly uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know what's funny though? It started out as feeling like a very weak person strangling me, but the more I wear it, the more you don't think about it.
Really?
It actually goes away after a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm hoping as I wear it more and more, it'll actually
Maybe it does
stretch
break
it.
in. Yeah.
But at first, super uncomfortable. Anybody that's ever put on a Ranger helmet will tell you it's kind of claustrophobic.
Yeah.
So the last thing you need is to be strangled while you're wearing a helmet. And so it does get a little bit better. So again,
it really is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a very good suit, very good quality, very good fit. By the way, he actually gets the measurements right. So that's kind of a nice thing.
That's important.
It's the biggest thing because again, you're already spending a lot of money. You're waiting a long time. The last thing you really want to do, and that's the biggest frustration, is get this stuff in and have to fix it.
Yeah.
I should not. If it's $800 to $1,200, I shouldn't have to fix it.
It just sucks all the relief out.
It does.
Finally getting the costume. You're like, oh, I gotta fix this.
I mean, these people. Yes, we know they're handmade, but at the same time, you gotta come on. You gotta be careful. Yeah. On to the main event.
Last but not least, the actual
helmet. So this is actually really cool too. Again, like just to keep on the same trend as what we've been doing.
Yeah.
This is actually an upgraded version of the Dark Ranger helmet. We're just going to refer to him as Dark Ranger because that's his official name in the States.
Yeah.
What I chose to do was I went with a stunt visor rather than a regular visor. But Kamen Rider's helmet was actually notoriously small. His design for this helmet was actually very tight. A lot of people had that complaint. So what he did was he increased the size, I think, by a third. You know, it's actually quite a bit bigger than what it used to be.
You fit a human head in there.
Yeah, exactly. He did show me a side-by-side picture of it, which was pretty impressive.
Really?
Yeah, if I can find that, I'll give it to you. So, so you can use it for the video.
Oh, okay.
That makes a little sense. All right. So, I chose the stunt visor, and I actually would strongly suggest that anybody use this because having had probably altogether, probably this is my 6th helmet, right? So having gone through all of that, they're very claustrophobic. The inside visor fogs up. There's not a lot of airflow. It's quite uncomfortable.
It really gets to you after a while.
After I can't wear it for more than 10, maybe 15 minutes if I'm lucky, and I feel like I've been buried alive.
You gotta crack the helmet a little bit. Get
breath. So, I mean, if you're in a convention or whatever, I mean, unless you want to just carry your helmet around and wear the suit, or you want to take your helmet off every 5 minutes, the stunt visor is a really good medium here because not only can you not see through it, but you're really hard pressed to tell that it's even a stunt visor helmet unless you are really up on it.
But you have good visibility.
I have great visibility. Yeah. There is a lot of benefits to using a stunt visor helmet versus the standard visor. One of the other things that I love about this helmet I want to point out is the teeth. When I got my Aniki cosplay, it was actually, because it was a standard visor, they were just stickers. They were literally just stickers that were cut out that could peel up, and actually there were some corners that were peeling up. With this is actually These are actually like carved into the visor. These aren't going anywhere.
It's almost engraved. Even even all the red. It's all like engraved into the helmet.
Yeah.
The eyes were stickers too on yours.
I don't think so. I don't remember. Honestly, that was several years ago. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But I will say that the only complaint I have about this helmet is the clear coat. Okay, I've been in contact with Kamen Rider Nimoy regarding this, and what happened was, it seems to me that he did the clear coat, and it either cured fully, and he put the bag on top of it to ship it, but he kept it stored in in a hot or humid area, and the bag stuck to it, or simply he didn't let the clear coat cure enough, and the bag stuck to it. So
it's sort of sheared.
Yeah. So when you look at it in certain lighting, it actually has like a marbleized look in it. This lighting right here is actually making it look pretty perfect, actually. But we're going to try to catch some of the marble effect, the shearing as you call it. And we're going to see what we can do. I was in contact with Kamen Rider. He asked me to try to buff it out. I don't know if I can. I'm not that versed in automotive painting and bodywork. I'm going to give it a shot. I have been in contact with him. I will tell you that he's always done right by me in the past. And if it's something that I can't fix, I'm sure we can come to some kind of an understanding or agreement. All in all, I will say this just to wrap it up.
We clapped at the same time.
Kamen Rider Nimoy has come a long way. I know a lot of people were apprehensive. A lot of people love Aniki cosplay because they're used to him. And they see him on stuff like the Bat in the Sun videos, and he came up
That's
with
the first guy you think. He really is the first guy you think of when you think of cosplay.
It's true.
Or when you think of Power Ranger cosplay.
Yeah.
But honestly,
there are more people out there, folks.
Yeah.
There are way more people out there. Kamen Rider is stepping up his game. His quality's improved. His designs have improved. His materials have improved. So, I mean, again, this is $400 cheaper. A fraction of the wait time. If you're looking for any kind of a deadline to be met, like say you have Power Morphicon, you have a convention, we use these for charity events. If you have something going on and you need it for something in particular, I'm gonna say you need to go to Kamen Rider Nimoy.
You never feel like they're just gonna take your money.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
and it's only him. I don't even think he has a team. I think it's legitimately only him.
Wow.
Which makes it even that much more impressive. Last time I knew, it was him, his wife who helped sew, and his mom. Or his mother-in-law. It was one of the two.
So Power Rangers became a family business.
It became a family business. So anyway, love the guy to death. Good at communication. Good quality. He has some stuff that he still needs to work on. But again, it's all handmade. Even if you get stuff from Aniki and you spend more money on it, you wait more time, you're still going to have this. I had the exact same stuff with the smudging on the stuff. I mean, you're not going to get away from it. I mean, if you guys recall in the last video, the suit I had stains all over it.
Yeah, it had a bunch of adhesive stains.
Yeah, so again, keep in mind,
drips.
All handmade. There's no such thing as perfect. You have to give and take. So
it's pretty damn close.
I would say
overall, it's pretty damn close.
If you guys have any questions, like I said, just leave them in the comment section below. He manages the YouTube account. If he has any questions that I need to answer, I'll jump right on and I'll give you guys any kind of information that I can to be helpful.
If you guys have any experience with Power Ranger cosplay or maybe this actual suit at all, seriously, we'd love to hear about it. Just leave it down in the comments. And if you like this video or want to see us review other stuff,
which hopefully you do.
Hopefully
you do.
We'll do it again. We won't wait 3 years this time. How long did we wait?
3.
Legit 3 years.
Yeah, I think it was legit 3 years. 2016 was when we did the Aniki.
It's a yearly episode.
Yeah, here you go. Happy anniversary.
Subscribe. We'll do more of these.
I'm Joshua.
And I'm Ray.
Fusion out. Zap!